process? Well, it's still just as basic when you get on a different level, okay? And when you're a unit president, you have officers, you have members that are looking for you. And if a unit president did not know who to call, are we as leaders doing our job? A unit president is no different than a member. They have to know the resources that are available to them. So all day long in membership or the other breakouts, I know you heard new member packets, new member packets, new member packets. What about our current member packets? We need our members to feel comfortable about who they're going to call, who they're going to ask, and then in turn, we have to be respectful to them and say, well, don't you know, you call so-and-so, yeah, I don't want to deal with this. That's not a way for me to act, okay? But there is a way to do it. And if you call someone and they say, no, I could help you, but really, here's the person you should call, trust me, call them. Because you know what happens. Jane is going to go back to the said person and say, did Susie call you? Because she called me and I instructed her to call me. No, I haven't heard from her. If you're asking for help and help is given, take it. Take them up on it. Okay? Michelle, what did you envision to start up this? Look at her. Look at her. She's already laughing. Here you go.
Remember, I was up till 2 a.m. I had no idea. No, we were sitting there, and this is a new year for us with a volunteer secretary. And although we kind of had a feeling of what it was going to be, it's kind of a little bit more than we thought. And we were sitting around one weekend, and that phone just didn't stop. All weekend long, that secretary phone was going off. And unfortunately, Mary's not in the office, goes to the secretary's phone, but maybe it's membership, or maybe it's something to do with the district, and needs the district president, but now she really can't transfer them. So Mary's 24/7, 7 days a week, playing secretary. So we really were trying to help Mary. So Mary, what did you envision?
As chief, because I came in late, I was dealing with the district president situation. So I missed the first couple of minutes. So what do you mean by envision? As to what this was going to be?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. In speaking with Michelle, Jane wasn't aware of this yet. I said, you know, last Halloween, my 6'2" son came out, and I have the video of him as the marshmallow man. And my two little great grandsons and my little tiny daughter-in-law came out as Ghostbusters. And I said, Michelle, Jane is tall. I want to see if I can borrow from Jane. It fills up with air.
Neither of you know how to use a gun. So who do you think is going to be the one they call? Ghostbusters. Marshmallow.
Look at how good we would look. Look at the impact.
We who? We here?
Yeah.
We. Let's close. We.
It was the impact of the music and Marshmallow Man coming down. Who are you going to call?
And in a perfect world, it would have. I can tell you behind the scenes, there have been a lot of people behind the scenes of Fall Conference. One person does not do it by themselves. And through amidst all that and all hard work, it was, oh yeah, what happened to the costumes? Oh yeah, what happened to the, okay? Doesn't mean the class doesn't go on. And I guess that's what I was looking for to give you guys our vision of what we, funny, not funny, whatever it may be, so you know where we were coming with this. Okay? Because you can take it all the way down to the unit level. For example, the treasurer of the unit has a question regarding 990. She brings it up to a meeting. The president isn't sure, and that's fine. Because what unit president knows everything? I want to see your hand up. Knows everything that there is to know. Okay, good. Because I was a unit president, and I was not familiar with 990, the ins and outs, and what's got to happen. Okay? Who could that treasurer call? First, they went to the unit and the president. Who could they call? Does anybody have an idea? Yes, ma'am. District president.
I know, I called them.
Okay, and there's nothing wrong with the district president not knowing. This isn't about us going through the chain of command to okay? But you need to know who to call. You started at the unit level. You started at the unit level. Do you follow me? You just didn't go all the way to national. I'm going to call national and find out if they know how to do it.
National
Exactly.
National says, please don't call.
Thank you, Lisa. That's why we're bringing this up. Because national contacts us and says, hey, we had a unit, it's a Florida thing. Or it's in Alabama. Or it doesn't matter what department. You started at the unit. Do you get it? Okay, then you went to the district. And let's say the district president cannot help you. Because don't forget, you don't have a district treasurer. You do not have a district treasurer, so maybe she doesn't know. But she knows so-and-so in unit whatever. Well, then it kind of stayed district, didn't it? Then it might foster ideas for you to do a district-wide treasurer information for 990s. Well, anybody can go? Yeah. So now someone else knows. God forbid, like Michele says, God forbid somebody's hit by a bus. God forbid the bus takes them out, the short yellow bus. Who's going to handle that? So other people that are interested, and they know they're not going to be the only one there that doesn't know the answer. Okay? So that would be your chain. Without saying a chain of command. Aren't we all in this together? If we shouldn't be, what are we doing? Our mission suffers. Our mission suffers.
So, Jane, we also have a department, and your unit guide has all your department officers and all your department chairmen. And we're very fortunate to have an amazing treasurer and an amazing risk and compliance chairman. So if it does come to the point where, again, your district may not know. Somebody in the unit may not be sure. Somebody in the district may not be 100% sure. We always are available, and that's why we say get the unit guide every year. The numbers change, phone numbers change, the people change, but the information is readily available for you, and it's out there. Just got to know where to go. So that's why we want to tell you where to go. I'm having fun.
Okay, well, Mary's laughing. So you see where you start here. You may end up here, but your first thought isn't, we're going to call department. That isn't right. Because really, ultimately, does that information get shared to the masses as much as it can? No. If you have to end up going to department, then take it back to district and go, hey, here's what we found out. We can get verification, and then we can strengthen our districts, which is going to strengthen our units. Okay? Mary, do you have an example of a who do you call?
Where do I begin?
Unit Americanism
Mademoiselle?
Then if you're the unit Americanism chairman, then you're going to call your district Americanism chairman. Don't call me. I'm not going to help you. That's a lie, because you know I will help you. And there's certain people in this room that have me on speed dial. Joanne. Andrea. But that's where you need to go. You can go there. Or maybe the unit that's 4 miles down the road, they have an emergency chairman. You can intermingle with the units, just as long as you know you're getting the right information. So, a quick story. A question was asked to me about juniors. Ladies, I screwed up royally. And how did I know I screwed up? Michele? Okay?
I texted her at 7 a.m. Are you up?
Now, here's what I did. And I have since redacted it. I got my statements out there. So you have an active junior unit. You're collecting $15 dues for that junior unit. Okay? You got 20 juniors. $15, that's how much money? $300, somewhere around about there, but you that and stuff. So what do you do with that money? My answer was, President Lisa, cover your ears. You take that money, it's a separate line item for your juniors to use that money. And when I called Michele, she said, but I said, no, Michele, I said it. She said, have you read the juniors? What is it called?
It's the Junior's Handbook from National.
The
Download
Junior's
it for
Handbook.
free at ALAforveterans.org.
You know, this is at 7:30 in the morning. I haven't had a coffee yet. And I went, oh, crap. I said, yes, Michele, I said it, and this is why I said it. So you cannot take your junior's money and put it as a separate line item because it all goes into general fund. That was the bottom line.
For membership. However, if the juniors hold an activity in your unit and they hold a fundraiser, that money needs to be spent on the juniors. It's their money. They raised it. Membership goes all in one pool.
So
That's your general fund. But the money raised by juniors, and that's in the Junior's Handbook, found at ALAforveterans.org on National.
So should I have answered that question when they called me? The secretary said, what do you do with that? Should I have answered that question? Oh, but why not? I'm there to help. You are correct. I should not have. I should have turned around. Tara, are you in those? Is Tara here? There you go. Call our department juniors chairman. She will give you that information. Okay? These are what we're trying to say. You just need to know who to call. If you want to call President D to find out what kind of clothing are we going to be wearing, what's the dress code for this or that, go right ahead, don't call me. I don't care what you wear, you know. I mean, seriously, it's things like that. You have to stop and think. Have I called National? Yes, I have. Because that's the only person that I could call. Because nobody in the office knew. Have I checked with Michele on things before I called National? Yes, I have. I said, I'm going to call National, and I'm going to speak to this person because this person will help me. But actually, I don't call them. I email them. It's easier to email, folks. You'll get an answer back within 24 hours, give or take. So that's my little take on who you're going to call for a particular program.
ALA4FOR veterans.org. You're going to want to do an account. You'll need your card number if you've never been on there. You'll log in as a member, and there is a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, yes.
Wealth. ALA Academy, webinars, downloadable guidebooks. You know, when I was moving up the ranks, my very first chair, I wasn't even a unit president. And I was a department chair from Miss Irma Worley, department membership. And I went up to the microphone and I said, I make a motion. And I thought the convention was going to kill me. And I said, what did I do wrong? And I realized I didn't really know what I was doing. And before I was even a unit president, I was looking at the Department Operations Guidebook from National because it's there for every member. Knowledge is power. And we might as well learn. I mean, if this is our organization. So I've taken all the ALA Academy courses. I try to take them as soon as they come out. There's a brand new one out, Be the One. National President Lisa was put it on a couple of weeks ago. It is already out there for viewing. She'll be talking more about that tomorrow, I'm sure. But it's all free, and it's all out there for our members. So the technical way, or the correct way is, I move too, by the way.
Does anybody in the audience here have a question and that you would like to know who you should call?
I'm not sure that it's who I should call, but I noticed in the national bylaws that a unit can be disciplined for failing to discipline a member.
The department can be disciplined for failure of, what the word is.
The unit, it specifically said unit.
Yeah.
That a unit can be disciplined for failing to discipline a member. That was the wording.
Okay, so who polices their members? So how could a unit get in trouble for not disciplining their members? We'd have to see that in writing where you've seen that, because I don't. Where? National bylaws.
I don't have the national book in front of me, I only have our department book in front of me, but there is something in there that basically says if there's a problem, and a really bad problem, it has to be a really bad problem, and the unit doesn't handle it and department doesn't go in to help out, then department can be disciplined for not doing something for the unit. Those are not the exact words. I would much rather get the book out and give you the exact verbiage. But remember one thing, your unit, Constitution and bylaws, standing rules, those are your governing documents. That is why we do not approve them. We only send back a recommendation. Do you have to follow that recommendation? No. But I will definitely check that out. I think I might even have my national unit guide in my car. There you go. Those are things that I don't leave home without. I always have something like that in my car.
So basically, without making you feel like we weren't prepared for this meeting, what we are hearing as we travel is, I'm holding up. I'm a unit president. How's it going, Jane? It's going good. But I have my district president coming in telling me things that I had no knowledge. How would you feel? Wouldn't you feel like me? So why are we doing to each other what we know we wouldn't like it? And how to have to put a district president in a position to feel bad that she's speaking to Jane and Jane's saying, I have no idea what you're talking about. If we want to tattle and we want to do everything else, we need to go back to elementary school. Talk to your unit presidents. Unit presidents, talk to your members. If you don't, we're never going to truly focus on our mission. Focus on our mission. And then learn to take constructive criticism. If I got my feelings hurt every time somebody said, Jane, fix your shirt. Hey, your pants are too short. You know what I'm saying? We need to be able to communicate. If you think that someone is saying something to you that you don't necessarily understand or agree with, ask them for clarification. But we have to learn to where we don't, I know in today's age everything's fast, but we still continually cannot have all the phone calls going to the department, because sure, then Jane knows that answer and Jane's the only one. And if Jane doesn't take that information back down to her unit members or her district members, we're still losing and our mission is hurting, isn't it? And we talked about this in one of the classes. I think it was your district presidents. We have a lot of district presidents that have done their 2 years, and I looked at them and said, don't go away. Don't go away. I told you last year I was not going away. I will do my best to stay involved at some level with this organization, because who deserves that? Our veterans, their family, our communities, our children and youth. So use your chain. There's a reason for that. Use it. And talk to each other. So then as we're talking about this, we're laughing. Who are you going to call? Don't call me. You call her. But it's to bring some levity to a situation that can be detrimental to our mission. Your district presidents have been working hard this year to reach out to units. Find out what's happening. Celebrate what's happening. Make sure our mission is going through and our veterans, our community and children, and you know that the American Legion Auxiliary Department of Florida is here for them. And we can't do that if we are turning around every time you turn around and doing something we shouldn't. So hopefully that makes sense. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. I'll give her this one, ma'am.
This is about the bylaws and standing rules. We read ours in February, just wondering, but you never got it back signed. Do we need to have it signed at this point?
No, we cannot sign them as approved. Okay? What I've been trying to do, we do not have a Department of Constitution and Bylaws chairman. So with permission from President D, I can get into that email address and we're getting them, I'm reading them. If there's something that's really off the wall that doesn't seem good, I will respond back saying you need to change this, that. Next to me, I suggest that you change this, and this. You know, one of the things I always say is a quorum. So I send it back to them. Now, if they make changes and send it back, all I turn around and do, and I'll be very honest, I now forward that email to Patsy, who is our membership coordinator. She at that point scans it into our shared drive, which going into your unit, and then from there, we're going to upload it onto the department website.
Okay. So we should be pretty clear of handing them out now. This was done in February.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Once you sign off on it and send it to, again, we cannot. And as much as I would love to change some of your things, not yours personally, we cannot. That is a directive because your units are your own separate entities. But anyone who puts into their standing rules, you must wear this. You really put a hurting on some of your members. You know, because we don't have uniforms. You know, stop it being realistically. One of the things I can tell you, when you're doing your standing rules, go on to our department website. Pick a district, any district. Pick a unit, any unit. Start reading some of their standing rules There are units out there that have got 50 and 60 standing rules. But you know what? They cover everything that has happened in their unit, so they don't have to worry about it happening again. Whereas some other units have got 5 standing rules. And those are the units that have most of the problems. So, but I try to remember saying received, and it's okay.
And check your own to make sure it's uploaded, because it is what it is. But not only your district president, your members, department leadership will be able to pull that up, because how can we help answer your question if we don't know what your governing documents are and the person on the phone doesn't know either? Well, we can't tell you what we don't know and what you don't know. So there's a reason we do that. It isn't that people don't want to be helpful, but there's a place for you to call. We don't want you to feel left out there. There's plenty of people to call. But why don't we go to the person that we should go for at first? Excuse me.
Okay, to answer the question about the discipline, this is under departments and it's in the National Constitution and Standing Rules dated 2022. On page 50, under 10 departments, section 4, the unit has responsibility for the discipline of its members. A member disciplined by said member's unit may appeal to the unit's disciplinary action in writing to the Department Executive Committee. The Department Executive Committee shall review the appeal and respond as it deems appropriate. The action of the Department Executive Committee is final. Disciplinary actions against members, including membership suspensions, are not appealable to the national organization. All discipline must be imposed in accordance with the principle of fundamental fairness, which includes notice and an opportunity to be heard. A department may discipline a unit for failure to discipline a member. The department. So does that answer your question? Pretty much?
Who do you call?
Mary.
She's taking her name badge off. She's taking her name badge off.
You know, there's something, when you have nothing better to do with your time, you're bored, it's 2:30 in the morning, you can't sleep, you got no one to talk to.
I'm married.
No, do not call me Mary. Kept me up too late last night. Go on to the national website, ALAforveterans.org. Go to guides. There is a huge file on here, 560 pages. And it's called the Department Operations Guide. Download it. Like that, it downloads. There is so much information in there on how you can handle so many things. Though, I can tell you right now, go to Chapter 1, Section 4, the relationship between a post and a unit. I know that one almost by heart. It's one of cooperation. Go to Chapter 8. It's all about membership. This is how I find things out, folks. I don't know it all, and I still don't know it all, and I'll never know it all. But I'm not afraid to pick up a phone of a friend or friends and say, what do we do here? I discuss many things with Jane. I discuss many things with Michele. There's a unit that wants to discipline a member, kick it out for 90 days, but they didn't even follow their own constitutional bylaws. Am I going to get involved in that? The member has to get involved in it, and we told the member how you do it. That's all we can do is tell them how to do it. So I'll answer that phone call for you, but I don't want to know all the gory details.
And you raise a good point, because first of all, we should be looking for ourselves, right? We all know our department website. Now we've given you a little bit more, if you didn't already, the national website. but I should certainly try to look for that answer myself, because otherwise it becomes gossip. We'll leave Mary alone today. Mary's had enough. And I go, well, Charlotte told me. Charlotte? Okay, just because Charlotte told me doesn't make it necessarily right or incorrect or correct, does it? No, it isn't about Charlotte. I can't just go, well, I heard. Because usually it goes, I heard from Charlotte, who heard from Susie, who heard from, So we need to look up ourselves, but start the unit level, because you know what that's going to do, don't you? If you start at your unit level for almost everything you have, doesn't that strengthen your unit level? Which in turn will strengthen your district, your department, and who wins with that? Our veterans, our mission.
Madam President Lisa, when were you the National Constitution and Bylaws Chairman?
Under Janet Jeffers.
Okay. At that particular time, I was also the Department Constitution and Bylaws Chairman. I did not know that you lived in Alaska. I did not know there was a 5-hour difference in time. So if it's 10 o'clock in the morning here, it's 5 in the morning there. I didn't care to call her. But, I've done that. So we all we can make a mistake. That's why I hope you never remember my name.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, I called so-and-so and they didn't call me back. Okay, when did you call them? 30 minutes ago. Maybe they were in public. Where's my district president that I called you while you were in the restroom? Okay. We don't
She
know.
answered.
She answered. God love her, she answered. She answered. And then God love me, I apologized profusely. Did not like Sandy hang up the phone. You're going to say, Sandy, hang up the phone. Okay? So we have to give that person time. I know that we run quick. Everything is quick. Instant gratification. Americans want instant gratification. But we have to understand who we're dealing with. Okay? No different than your district presidents. If you're a unit president, you're waiting to hear from the district president. Okay, keep in mind, is she at another unit? Some of our districts have 15, 20, however many units in that district. You have to give them time. How many of us still work a paid job? And I love all the mothers and grandmothers and all the volunteering is a hard work you don't get paid for, but a physical job that helps pay your bills. Look around. We're here, we're present, we're volunteering, and we're working with you. But guess what? We work as well. So give us a little bit, and we'll try not to bother you after, dinner or whatever, or we'll shoot you a text. I've done that before. Can you call me later? It's payroll Monday. It's payroll Monday. And you don't want your paycheck messed with, so give a little bit when you're looking for the help as well.
Hey, so I just found out something very interesting. Well, actually, I knew this, but I got permission to say it. So you know how fortunate we are to have being in a snowbird state and having all these wonderful past department presidents and past national presidents to be moving to Florida. Well, who are you going to call? We have one of our national parliamentarians in the room with us today. Ms. Janet Jeffers, past national president, along with past national president Peggy Thomas, are actually our national parliamentarians. So I think Florida I think we're going to know who we're going to call. Yay, Janet!
What's her number?
Janet,
We will be selling her number later. Just come see us.
I will not let them dress you up as a marshmallow. I won't do it, honey. We're tall. I'm not doing it. Yeah. That's right.
We just had a very similar question sent to us, and we sent a written reply, so it's a common question.
We just want to make sure that you have the resources. And hopefully you had fun while we were doing it, regardless of the marshmallow and the little Ghostbusters and the... Why couldn't they have been those short jelly monsters? Marshmallow Man. Are there any other questions that you can think of as I don't know who to call? Yes, ma'am. One moment.
Karen Marks, 5th District, Unit 9. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Karen.
We had a lot of issues at my unit this year, and I didn't know who to call. And when I reached out, I got answers from all of you, and I thank you for that. You guided me and you pointed me in the direction I needed to go. We didn't resolve everything, but we're doing a whole lot better. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. And what we're saying is, and I did this last year, I've done it for years. If you call me, I'm going to try to help you. I'm not going to tell you, don't call me, call so-and-so. But I will finish up the conversation and say, in the future, if you have a problem like this is the person you really need to be calling. Because I don't feel that it's fair. You've taken that time out. I'm home, you know. If I didn't do this in the auxiliary, what would I do at home? I would turn into a feeble old lady.
But then in turn, it depends on the situation as well. If you're having a program question, that's a program question. We're not talking about that where a unit is having problems. But I can only speak for myself. If Karen called me, I asked her right off the bat, have you contacted your district president? True?
Yes, ma'am.
Which she did.
Yes,
Which she did. We're not airing any dirty laundry, but what she did, I'm going to do the right thing as a leader, and you can still do that in your unit. Okay, I can help you because I used to be the unit leadership chairman and whatever, or I used to be a unit past president of your unit. But I'm still going to say, have you contacted the unit president?
So, show of hands, how many of you belong to other organizations? Be truthful. You can raise your hands if you want.
What was the question?
How many belong to other organizations? Okay? Now, when you go to those meetings, and I don't want to pick on anybody, so I'll just say Moose Eagles, GAR, DFW, Marine Corps League, they run differently than we do. So you know what happens? Nana's a member of whatever organization, and she's going to come into the unit. Charlotte is the president of that unit, and now, Nana, I know you won't do this, because it's not in your demeanor. Oh no. My club does it this way. You're doing it wrong. So are you going to call me and ask me if they're doing it wrong? Of course not. The answer is, I can appreciate what your club does, but these are our rules, and let it go. No, don't you dare do that, okay?
You were supposed to take her aside privately and ask her.
Thank you, Jane.
Exactly. You know where Mary's going. But all we have to do is educate our members. But then we as members have to do something with that knowledge, don't we? Several classes today we talked about. We get all the titles. Our national president said, hey, forget about that title for a minute. We all have titles. She nailed it. That is a spot-on statement. We all have something, even if it's just I'm a member, correct? That's your title. It doesn't mean anything. Because we're here for our mission. So, I forgot my train. I got off that train.
Did you
marshmallow? Yeah, you must have shot the marshmallow.
Did you pay admission to get on that train? Or did you jump?
No, I'm just going up there.
Oh, you?
Yeah.
You know, it's hard.
I'm always going to drive. I'm always going to drive a vehicle because I just feel better when I drive.
Have I enjoyed my time with the American Legion Homes League? Most definitely. The best 26 years of my life. I really enjoyed it. But that and my card, I'm still going to have to pay $1.50 to get on New York subway because it's not going to give me anything. When I go someplace, I don't need to be recognized. I'm here.
Oh, I know what it was.
You know, I'm here to help you, and I will help you. if we follow the right way of doing things.
It was your other organization.
What about that one?
If it's fundraising ideas, you can pull those.
Oh, yeah.
If it's to get more volunteers,
Oh, heck
you can
yes.
pull that from that organization. But all we tend to do, we know your heart's in the right place, but their structure is different than ours, isn't it? No different than ours is different from the next one. And the next one, we're not cookie cutters. Look at us. We're all different. We're all different. So we can pull the usable items from them, but we have to stick to our roots and mission. And that doesn't mean we can't work with them, because that would give us more volunteers, wouldn't it? Yep.
And all of you units who are working with other organizations, whether it be Operation Homefront, USO, I commend you, because you are getting out there and you are helping and you show what we, as an American Legion Auxiliary member, can do. So,
Yes, ma'am.
We're short stuff on it. I call it short stuff. Marshmallow Man. Here she comes.
I just wanted to say, all of us have an excellent opportunity that goes across this whole entire department. It's called ABC classes. We spend a lot of time, money to get educated, to come out, to visit with all of you, and to educate all of you. And so, when that opportunity comes to your district, take advantage of it. That's what we're there for. That's what these instructors are there for. And to become an instructor is not easy. It's grueling to become an instructor. It's not taken lightly. So please, when the instructors come to your district, please go. Some of you may have to travel a bit, but go and get the instruction. It's going to help you so that you don't have to call Mary all the time, and you don't have to call your district president often, and you'll be able to get some of these answers that you're seeking. So there's ABC schools coming up, ABC classes coming up. Please take advantage of those classes, okay? Please. And if you need another one, maybe you get with the leadership chairman, okay?
Okay, we're going to break a little early. You guys have been diligent about classes. First, we want to thank you for traveling in that weather to come here. No, thank you. Thank you. I was driving it myself, and I'm telling you what, I didn't stay up last night. Jane went to bed. She drove, and she went to bed, and no problem. Mary teases me because I told her, I said I never knew what it was. Yeah, all my life. When it was time for Jane to go to bed, she just went. I guess I always knew when it was time to go home, kind of thing. And I'm watching a movie the other day, and I'm Irish. I said, Mary, I saw something on a movie the other day. And you know how when you just get up and go? And she said, yeah. She goes, I said, that's an Irish goodbye. Google it. Google it. And here's Mary Kelly Perkins, obviously Irish. She says an Irish goodbye. So this morning I saw her, I said, good morning, Mary. And she said, good morning, Irish goodbye.
Because she went to bed last night, didn't say a word. President didn't want to say something, but there's something that I think we might need to make an announcement. Turn your mic off a minute.
Where is she?
That's good.
That was easy. That was easy because I missed our department president altogether. Maybe because I'm standing and you're sitting. I'm like, yeah, where? D, where? Where is she? Where? Who are you gonna call, Jane? The department president?
And it's not that I'm short. I was sitting. Ladies, advisors, Michele, Jane, Mary, past department presidents, let's give them a round of applause. Now I have to say, I would have loved to have seen Marshmallow Man and the Ghostbusters. Because you know what? They would have made an impression. They would have been memorable. And they would have had everybody in this room talking with those costumes. But you know what? Without the costumes, they made an impression. They were memorable. And you will be talking about what they said and taught you today. And you had fun learning it. So you can play and work.
We're going to break, and if the district presidents would like to stay in the room, that would be awesome, because then the district presidents are going to have some special time with Madam President Lisa. You know, our national president loves to travel. She loves to go into the units. Florida is a strange-shaped state. I don't even want to take the panhandle list, because to me down here's the panhandle. And we can't do it, so by having her come to our fall conference and having the district presidents having some time as to what's going on in the districts, we're hoping that President Lisa can see that Florida is doing their job. So after the district presidents are finished, then you're all welcome to come back in the room, meet with President Lisa, and I think she may have some pins with her. And I know how you all love pins. And I believe she has enough. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been a great year. It's going to be even better to the end of the year. All your chairmen, I went to some of your breakouts. You did fantastic. Your district presidents, what I hear was going on in those units, there is no reason why we are not going to be 100% reporting. So, thank you.